Imagine waking up to a Section 8 property trashed, thousands in damages, and no legal recourse. These are not isolated incidents. They are nightmares that have crippled countless landlords. In this video, I'm going to expose the shocking true stories of Section 8 tenancy gone wrong and reveal the vital strengths that you must implement to protect your investments. Hey, do me a favor, do the YouTube thing, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I put out no-nonsense real estate content for veterans and first responders and anybody else who wants to cash flow without getting wrecked by avoidable mistakes. If you're new to the channel, I am Bud Evans. I'm a retired police officer, retired Air Force officer, and I've been a real estate investor and property manager with a rental portfolio that has taken plenty of punches, but kept on moving. I also run that property management company built for investors because I got tired of watching landlords get lied to, ignored, and bled out by bad systems. So I'm not talking theory today. I'm unfortunately talking about operator reality. So let's get into it. Section 8 is not automatically safe. It is not automatically dangerous either, though. It is a tool. If you run it with discipline, you can get a strong, predictable income, lower vacancy in many markets, and a tenant pool that stays for a longer period of time. If you run it sloppy, however, it can absolutely smoke your property, your cash flow, and your time. The horror stories you hear are usually not because the voucher exists. They happen because the landlord treated the voucher like screening. Those are not the same things. So here are 3 true story patterns I see over and over. I'm not using names, but these are real situations. Story pattern number 1, the guaranteed rent trap. A landlord hears that the housing authority pays. In New Jersey, that's the DCA. They assume the tenant is automatically stable, skip the deep screening, accept weak landlord references, and they do not verify household composition. They rush, they move in, they pass inspection, and start the subsidy clock. Within months, the property's getting complaints. Extra occupants are showing up, unauthorized pets show up, trash is piling up, landlord tries to enforce the lease, and the tenant knows how to play the game. They're professional tenants. They request reasonable accommodation, they claim repairs, stop cooperating with inspections. The landlord loses control of the timelines. The rent may be guaranteed from the agency portion, but the damage is not guaranteed to be covered by anybody, and the eviction process is never guaranteed to be fast. Story pattern number 2 is the inspection approved illusion. This one gets a lot of landlords hurt because they confuse housing authority quality inspection with a tenant quality decision. The unit passes inspection, so the landlord thinks the deal is safe. Then the tenant runs into the house and turns it into a war zone. I have seen punched doors, holes in drywall, cabinets ripped off hinges, broken windows, clogged plumbing from butt wipes, misuse, roaches and bed bugs from poor housekeeping, and animals that were never on the lease. The landlord thinks, surely this program is going to protect me. It does not. That's not its intent. The program protects the tenant's housing access and the agency's rules. Your protection is in your paperwork and your lease enforcement. Let's talk about story pattern number 3, the no legal recourse feeling. This is where the landlord is not actually out of options, but they are out of preparation. They did not conduct inspections on schedule. They did not issue cure or pay or quit notices properly. They did not build a lease that matches the program requirements and state law. And when things go sideways, they feel trapped. They call it no recourse, but the truth is they gave up leverage long before the property even got trashed. So what do? You stop treating Section 8 like a passive investment and you run it like a business with systems. So today I'm going to walk you through the strategies that actually protect you. This is not theory. This is not vibes. This is steps. Step 1 is tenant screener has to be stricter, not looser. The voucher does not replace screening. It increases your need for it. You screen credit, background, income sources, and rental history the same way you would with any other tenant, but you also focus hard on the 2 things that predict pain. The first is landlord references, and I mean real landlord references, not their sister. You verify ownership through tax records or property records, search their social media profile, and you ask direct questions. Did they pay on time? Did they respect the lease? Did they cause damage? Would you rent to them again? If the prior landlord hesitates, hey, you have your answer. Second is household stability. Who's moving in? Put them on the lease. How many people? What's their documented composition with the housing authority? If extra occupants show up later, your enforcement starts with your lease language and your inspection log. Step 2 is deposits. Fees done the right way. A lot of landlords will undercharge deposits because they assume that the housing authority has their back. Wrong. Your security deposit is often your only immediate financial buffer. Follow your state laws on maximums, but do not go soft here. If your state allows it and your market supports it, price your security deposit and your move-in requirements like a professional. And do not forget that many housing authorities let the tenant pay their portion. Make sure you have a clear process for late fees, partial payments, and enforcement. You need a lease that is clean, specific, and enforceable. Step 3 is lease language that closes loopholes. People wonder why I have a 20-page lease with all these addendums. Because you need written rules for unauthorized occupants, unauthorized pets, housekeeping standards, trash, yard care, smoking, how repairs are requested. You also need language that's going to allow for periodic inspections and proper notice. We give 24 hours. Whether you want us in or not, we're coming. A sloppy lease turns every dispute into a debate. A tight lease turns problems into facts. Step 4 is inspections that are scheduled, documented, and boring. If you only inspect when you feel trouble, you're late. So here's a simple cadence that works in real life. Do a move-in inspection, take photos and video. Do an inspection at 30 to 60 days, then do quarterly or semi-annual inspections depending on tenant history and property condition. We do it every 6 months and try to coincide with the rental registration inspection. But every inspection needs time-stamped photos, not a few, enough that a judge can see the truth in 2 minutes. Floors, walls, doors, windows, appliances, bathroom fixtures, smoke detectors, HVAC filters. If something is off, you have to document it, you have to notify, and then you have to set a deadline for repair. Step 5 is maintenance response that's fast but controlled. Tenants have rights, guys. You should respond quickly to legitimate repairs, but do not let repairs become a manipulation tool. Everything goes through writing. Everything goes through the portal, email, text that you save. You log the request, you schedule it, you document it before and after. If the tenant blocks access, you document it. Because when a tenant claims that you failed to maintain the unit, your proof is your calendar and your photos. Step 6 is relationship management with the housing authority. It's tough, I know. They rotate pretty much annually, but you do not need to be their best friend. You need to be a professional. Know your caseworker, know the inspection process, know how rent increases work, know what paperwork they require if there's an issue. You communicate early and in writing. If a tenant violates program rules, report it through the proper channels with documentation. When a landlord gets blindsided, it's usually because they did not manage the system until it was already on fire. If you are serious about building a rental portfolio the right way, and you are a veteran, I recommend you check out the War Room with David Perret. It is a veteran-focused community of operators who are actually buying deals, managing assets, and solving real problems in real time. If you want to stop guessing and start moving on with a team, that's the room to join. And if you want a one-off coaching call with me, you can grab that at budevans.com. Let's go deeper into what most landlords miss. These are the mistakes that create these horror stories. Mistake 1 is renting to the voucher instead of the person. Say it with me. The voucher is not a personality trait. You are not approving a government program. You are approving a human being to live inside an asset that you are working for. Treat it with that level of seriousness. Some of these people are disgusting, man. Mistake 2 is failing to enforce small violations early. The property almost never goes from clean to destroyed overnight. It is a slow slide. Missed housekeeping, trash in the yard, unauthorized pets, the extra occupants, then 2, then 3. Then you show up and the house is trashed and you're shocked. Enforcement is not being mean. It's protecting standards. You address small violations early because it's going to prevent bigger damage later. Mistake 3 is emotional management. Guys, you cannot get emotional here. Landlords get emotional because it feels personal. It's not personal. This is a business. Personal to them, not to you, right? If you get angry, you start making sloppy decisions. You send the wrong text. You say the wrong thing. You stop documenting. You delay action because you don't want confrontation. Then you end up paying for it. Listen, guys, driveway conversations are never recorded. Text everything or run through the portal. Run the process. Keep it boring. Boring is profitable. Mistake 4, no reserves. Even with perfect systems, stuff breaks. Tenants move. Courts take time. If you own rentals, you need reserves. If you're running Section 8, you need reserves and discipline. I like owners who think in buckets. Maintenance reserve, CapEx reserve, legal reserve. That last one is where weak landlords get crushed because one eviction plus repairs can wipe out a year of cash flow. I've seen it. I've gone through it. Mistake 5 is buying the wrong property for the program. Some properties are more durable. Some layouts can handle higher occupancy better. Some neighborhoods attract better stability even within the voucher pool. If you buy a fragile property, cheap finishes, weak plumbing, old roofs, and you put high occupancy in it, you're building a failure. You want durable finishes, easy clean flooring, solid doors and locks, simple landscaping, and you want a unit that's going to cash flow even with conservative assumptions. Here's the bottom line. Section 8 can be a powerful tool for cash flow, but it really demands systems. If you want passive, go buy a bond or a dividend stock. If you want rentals, act like an operator. Now I'm going to give you the checklist. This is what you implement in order so that you don't become the next horror story on one of my videos. Screen the tenant, not the voucher. Verify landlord references through ownership records and hard questions. Confirm household composition and write clear rules for occupants, guests, and unauthorized additions. Set security deposits and move in terms based on state law and risk, not on your feelings. Use a tight lease with enforceable language for pets, smoking, housekeeping, trash, care, and repairs, and the amount that they're responsible for. Do a full move-in inspection with time-stamped photos and video. Store it in a folder you can pull instantly. Schedule inspections in 30 to 60 days, then quarterly or semi-annually, and document everything every time. Run all maintenance through writing, log requests, document before and after, and document denied access. Build professional communication with the housing authority. Know the process, report issues properly, and keep records. Enforce small violations early with written notice and deadlines. Do not wait for the property to start falling apart. Maintain your reserves for vacancy, maintenance, capital expense, and legal. If you cannot afford reserves, you cannot afford the rental. Buy durable properties, strong finishes, simple systems, and conservative underwriting. Look, if you run that checklist, you're going to dramatically reduce the odds of getting wrecked. Not because you got lucky, but because you built a system. As always, if this helped, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and share this with your friends so you can stay plugged in. Thanks for watching. I'm Bud Evans. Aim high, execute fast. See you on the next one.